All right, I believe we are live. Let's see if people start showing up in the chat, and then we will know for sure that this is happening. All right, so just wait 1 second. Yeah, all right. There's our first produce, not pills. How's it going? Let us know that you can see and hear everything. As this is my second time hosting a guest on a live stream here, and yeah, this is Brian, Happy Healthy Vegan, and who do we got here as my guest today?
This is Logan. How's it going, everybody?
Cool. Just kind of wait a second for people to come on. And yeah, one reason why we're having a debate today is because I think we've had some discussions in the past. You maybe even made a video about me or something like that about my position on raw veganism. Because I've made I don't know, on my YouTube channel, you can just go and search for the videos, type in raw. I've made quite a few videos about raw veganism and fruitarianism. And I know that some people that follow raw veganism and fruitarianism take issue with my videos. And we'll see what these issues might be. I assume you're one of these people. Am I correct there, Logan?
Yeah. Well, just to explain it, before I watched some videos before you made like, it's kind of like a series of like debunking raw fruitarians. Am I correct on that? It's kind of
I'm
like
debunking not them per se. I'm debunking some of the more extreme claims made by raw fruitarians. So big distinction there. I'm not like making fun of people. I'm just questioning or looking at the scientific evidence, if any, to support some of the more extreme claims that are made by some.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things I noticed, there was a guy named Milk Jar a long time ago that you debated on here, and he was talking about our ancestors used to eat meat.
I remember
right?
that word, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you made a reply video to him the next day, and you used it was Dr. Greger's video where he talks about our ancestors were frugivores, and it shows the I don't know if I could share links on here where people could see him or anything, but it shows a chart like how humans were frugivores, and then it shows like how they found like fossilized feces that proved that there was frugivores, and you used all those arguments in your video against Milk Jar. And then the next day, or maybe like 2 or 3 days later, whatever it was, you did a video like debunking a fruitarian, and you used all the opposite arguments to debunk him, saying that we're actually starchivores and not frugivores. So it was like, it seemed very cherry picked.
Let me see if I can get my web browser. I know which video you're talking about. I'll put the link to it here because I was just actually looking at this video here. It's called Raw Myths Exposed. Fruitarian is the natural human diet. And like I said, I'm going to put the link right now into the chat so people can check it out. So you can see, I wish I hooked this up differently. If so, we could actually play through the video. Please, I wish I saw what you were talking about earlier, because I've never made the claim that humans are frugivores because of this very video I made here that I just linked to about our human ancestors and our natural diet. And the reason why I think there's some confusion about our ancestors is, which ancestors are we talking about? Are we talking about our species? Are we talking about Homo sapien? Are we talking about our prior ancestor, Homo erectus? Are we going back further to Australopithecus? Yeah, if you go back far enough, yeah, you are going to find someone who pretty much ate fruit and maybe some bark. They weren't cooking any starchy tubers. That happened at a certain point. So the question is, when we say our ancestors, which ones are we talking about? I'm saying that we have to get into that right now, but that was the whole point of that video.
Mm-hmm. I would say all of them. Like, besides Eskimos, don't they all eat fruit?
No, I'm talking about our we go back beyond humans. Eskimos are a type of Homo sapien. I'm going beyond. That's the argument that I hear from fruitarians, that our human ancestors were fruitarian and therefore we should be fruitarian. I said, well, who are you talking about? Which of our ancestors? Like I said, Homo sapien, Homo erectus, Australopithecus. Do you want to go back further?
Yeah.
So yeah, that needs to be cleared up, because I hear this often from fruitarians. They'll just say that, and I go, which human ancestor? I mean, I'm a student of anthropology. Let's get a little bit more specific. Who was eating what when?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying anything. I just said that you shared Greger's video where he said we were fruitarians, and then in the follow-up video you said we weren't fruitarians, we were starchivores.
I gotta check out that video. I really don't. I know people have. I know some fruitarians have like argued that this Dr. Greger video, and I honestly, personally, don't remember that video, let alone making a video about it to support anything I'm saying, because I've never believed that humans are naturally fruitarians. I know, yeah, I'm aware he made some video because I remember fruitarians telling me about this, but I'll search my channel to see what actually I said, because that doesn't sound like anything I'd ever say, because I never believed that in my entire life.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was the one you replied to Milkshare. I forget what it was called, about ancestry.
Yeah, I remember making a video about. I remember replying to him, but I don't remember making the argument that our ancestors were.
I think I found it here.
Yeah.
So it's called "Humans Can't Be Vegan Because Our Ancestors Ate Meat," and then I could show you in the video where you posted the graph. See, this is your video right here. And then you're showing I don't know if you could see it on the screen.
It's probably the same graph I used in the video that I linked to. Let me.
You actually show the Greger video, and you let the whole Greger video play. Our ancestors were frugivores, and you let the whole video play in your video.
Yeah, let me see.
As a rebuttal.
Let me pull up my web browser. Let me let me see if I can do this here. Window capture. 1 second, guys. I should have had this ready beforehand. Okay, properties. 1 second, guys. Hang on 1 sec. Let me just make sure I can get a Firefox window open here. Okay, here we go. So here is the video. I don't think I'm going to have audio. Can you guys see? Okay, it might take 1 second here. I know there's a little lag. I don't know if you guys can see it. And thanks for the super chat tip there, Leonardo da Vinci. Thanks so much. And okay, can you guys see the video on the screen here? This is the one I made about fruitarians and our natural human diet. And you should be able to hear the audio, but let me know if you guys can hear the audio. And let me see if we could find this graph. There's Mark Tassi. Yeah, here is this. I think I just saw it when I scrubbed over here. Is this the graph you're talking about that I showed here, Logan? Okay, well, I'd love to see that. It's been a while. I honestly don't think I ever said that humans were fruitarian, because I've never believed that humans were fruitarian.
Yeah.
I don't know why I would make a video saying that. Maybe you're misrepresenting my words or misinterpreting it.
No, it's right on the screen right here, is this part right here. And it's not you saying it, but you play Greger's video of him saying it as evidence.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that video again. Can you actually, what's the title of that one?
Humans can't be vegan because our ancestors ate meat. So yeah, the reason I saw that, right? Okay. And so you're playing evidence saying that we were frugivores, and then the next video you're debunking a frugivore saying
I actually don't believe that. I was actually showing that video to show, if I remember right now, this is what I believe and have always believed, that humans in our past, if you go back to our, what do you want to call our natural human diet, we were eating plants. In fact, Australopithecus, which I'm showing back then from 2 to 4 million years ago, they were the first creatures to figure out how to stop eating fruit, which is in rare, it's a rarity, it's a scarce supply because it changes. You need certain environmental conditions, others compete for. Anyway, I'm saying we were the first ones. They were the first ones to actually cook starchy tubers, which were in the ground, and it was an unlimited supply of food. So if anything, I was showing that video of Greger's to show we were eating plants, not necessarily fruit, but that we were plant eaters, trying to debunk that milk jar, saying no, our ancestors were eating meat. I mean, yeah, I'm sure they were once they left Africa and didn't have their natural environment of starchy tubers and fruit anymore, but I never believed that humans were fruitarian. So yeah, maybe I showed that video of Greger's, but it wasn't to argue that humans are fruitarian, it's to argue that humans are natural plant eaters. That was if you go back to our earliest ancestors, they were plant eaters, fruit and starchy tubers. I've always believed that.
Well, I mean, I have like if you want to actually look at like the science behind it, I have all different types of like things I could share. If you could put them on the screen, if you want, like, how do I send them to you?
Let's see. If you have URLs, you could send me you could put it in the. Let's see. Actually,
I could just put it in the chat if you want. I don't know if that'll
I don't know
work.
if you can put a URL in the chat. Why don't you try? If not, you can maybe message it to me on Facebook.
No, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't work.
Well,
All right, just give me one sec.
what point are you going to try to make? And
Well, I mean, if you're saying like we're just guessing like what part of you know, what time period were we frugivores
we're
and
not
this and
guessing.
that,
There's
and
actually anthropological evidence showing.
yeah. So I'll send you that type of stuff if you want. So here's the first thing. It says science verifies humans are frugivores. I'll send you a few more different things here. So how our jaw shaped is determined. Let's see here. Okay, so that's the first one. You could link up there if you want.
Okay, where'd you send it?
To Facebook.
Okay, all right. Let me hit this link here. All right. All right. So let me get it into a web browser.
Yeah, so this isn't like, also just so people watching, like, I'm not just bringing up ancestors as an argument to what we should be eating. I'm just bringing this up because of the video that you made about ancestors. I actually do have like up-to-date science.
Okay, I'm reading a preview on Scribd. Is there any particular thing here you want me to see? Yeah, here it is. Here we go. This is exactly what I was saying here. This is why I would post the part I'm highlighting here. I'm talking about Australopithecus, which I was just referring to. They were ancestors about 2 to 4 million years ago. And it says the startling suggestion that our early ancestors were not predominantly meat eaters. That's why if I referred to Dr. Greger's video about this, it's to show that they were not predominantly meat eaters. And they subsisted chiefly on a fruit diet. And that's completely true. Yes, Australopithecus originally subsisted on a completely fruit diet. However, the video I just posted back here, this one, let me show you which one again. It shows how Australopithecus was our first human ancestor to transform their diet from a fruit diet to a diet that consists of fruit and starchy tubers. So we're not in any disagreement here. This is if anything supports what I'm saying here.
Some tubers later on. If we're looking at like adaptation, like how many years of adaptation does it take for somebody to lose their old adaptations and all that stuff? Like it's very hard to figure out. So
it's super easy to figure out. If you had watched the video that I just posted up on okay, anyway, if you watch this video, this one here, about raw myths exposed, Fruitarian is the natural human diet, there's an enormous amount of adaptation. Let's talk about comparing humans to Australopithecus. First of all, female Australopithecus were about 3 foot 5 inches, and the dudes were a little bit above 4 feet. So already, anatomically, they're quite different. If you look at their stomachs, their digestive tracts are 3 times longer than human beings, Homo sapiens digestive tracts. Their brains are about 1/3 the size of humans. So they're enormously different. So my point was in my video, why would we want to model how we human beings, especially a guy like me, 6'4.5", why would I want to model how I eat off a guy who was like 4'5", had a digestive tract 3 times longer than mine, and had a brain 1/3 the size of mine? It makes absolutely no sense to say that's how I should eat. And I didn't even mention these guys were barely bipedal. They had really long arms so they could swing from trees, and they barely could walk. Why a guy who runs and plays basketball? Why would I want to model my diet off a dude who could barely walk? So I'm saying, well, there's been a lot of biological adaptations since then. Again, I'm not saying it's bad to eat fruit or anything like that as your primary source of food, but to say that we should model our diet off some creature who existed 3 million years ago who doesn't resemble us much, if at all. It's kind of an odd notion to entertain.
Yeah, I don't think like modeling the diet is an argument, because it's like, if I start eating fruit, am I going to go turn back into that model? Like, that's not really how it works. If I just start, like if you eat a bunch of like fruits and vegetables and they're raw, you're not going to turn back into a monkey, or you're just like it's, I don't understand that argument at all.
I didn't understand the argument you said I described there. I wasn't saying you would turn back into a monkey. I'm just saying our bodies are very different than these ancestors who are not even Homo sapien, who were the last frugivores of our distant ancestors.
Okay, so if I eat entirely fruit now, what bad thing would happen? Because some people eat more starch nowadays.
I'm not saying anything bad would happen, but the argument I make is just because an ancient ancestor with a very different biology ate that diet doesn't mean that we should eat that diet. But if you want to eat that diet, go right ahead, Logan. I'm not going to make a video saying, hey, everyone, watch Logan here. What a fool. He's eating nothing but fruit. I've never made a video like that about anyone in my life.
Yeah, well, I think that's what a lot of people think that you're saying when you make all these raw fruitarian videos debunked, is that you're basically saying it's unhealthy.
No, here's what I'm saying. If you've watched this video, I never say anything about it being unhealthy. Let's look at the title again, and I have to apologize, Logan. Someone pointed out when I show the browser, your audio gets cut off, and I totally understand why. Look at the title, though. I'm just going to read it to you. Raw Myths Exposed. Fruitarian is the natural diet. My whole point of this video was to expose that myth that some raw leaders put out there, that fruitarian is our natural diet of our ancient human ancestors. I debunked that. I showed, yes, here is the actual science. Here's what it says. And I never said, and therefore, if you eat all fruit, you're unhealthy, or you're a fool, or a bad person, or anything like that. I'm just looking at the extreme claim that's being made and showing that it doesn't hold any weight once you look at it scientifically. That's it. I don't attack people. People that watch my channel know I don't make ad hominem attacks, which means attacking a person, them, their character or attributes about them, like their gender or their height or weight, anything like that. I just look at the argument. That's it. I separate that from the person.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make any ancestor arguments. I was just pointing out that was kind of like a contradiction in your video before. But
no,
you said you don't.
If anything, it supports the video I made in response to the anti-vegan who said our ancestors ate all meat. I wanted to show that we did have our ancestor was, despite what some people think, they thought they ate all meat. No, it was all plant diet.
All right. Well, okay. So, like, you don't think there's any studies or any evidence showing that a fruitarian diet is bad or anything then, right?
Well, actually there is. And I have another video. Actually, there's not much science that's been done on fully raw diets. But I think it might be in this video. If not, I'll find it. I've referred to this a lecture that Harvard, what is he again? He's beyond anthropology. He's a primatologist. He's the author of Catching Fire, Richard Wrangham. And he's in one of his lectures, I put a video clip of him showing some of the very few studies done on raw fruitarians. And he said the studies haven't been all that good. And I've showed this one several times. Approximately 50% of females who eat 100% raw diet lose their periods. That's not, that's not a good thing. I've heard some raw vegans try to spin that, like, periods are bad or something like that. But no, I know the study you're talking about, and that study is just like complete garbage, because those people did not follow a fruitarian diet. Now they ate fruit, but then they also did fasting for weeks on end, and they also did like juice cleanses for weeks on end. So they didn't even follow the fruitarian diet throughout the years. Like, they were doing all sorts of fasting and stuff. I have to read the methods section of that study more. But I'm saying there really hasn't been much of any studies done on raw fruitarians. Like, what are you hoping to see the science saying about raw fruitarianism? Well, there is. I could send you a bunch. There's actually a video that, because when you made that video with Gregor in it there.
That was from one of his videos, but then he also has a bunch of other videos where he actually quotes like all the science on fruitarian diets. And there's one of them right there that I sent you. It's called Some Biochemical Effects of a Mainly Fruit Diet on Man. And this one, these people basically, let me see here. Let me pull up the results and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to put it on the screen here and let everyone see it. And again, I'll have to apologize to that. Your audio will cut out, but let me just put it on the screen here for all. Okay, sorry, new tab. And here we go. Okay, you read the title, and all we have here is an abstract, and it's not much to go on, but I'll read it for everyone. It says the results suggest that, at least for the period covered by the experiment, and we don't have the methods here and the prevailing conditions, the diet, this mainly fruit diet in man, was adequate with respect to the parameters investigated. And I'm not sure which ones they looked at here: glucose tolerance, insulin secretion, plasma, like lipid profile, and may even have something to commend it. Okay, so that's a really kind of a let me get back to you here, Logan. That's pretty a lukewarm finding there. It's not like saying, yes, fruitarianism is killer. It just says it's adequate. I mean, that's not like that's good, but it's not like saying, yes, we should all be fruitarian.
No, but here's what it says. No, it says it reported no adverse effects, and it says even benefits for body weight, blood pressure, insulin levels, and lipid levels. So it's like,
do you have the methods?
There's nothing bad, and there's great things. So it is a good study.
I'm curious what the time period covered. It says by the period covered. Do you have that info?
So that one was 24 weeks, it said.
Okay, so what is that? 4, 6. How many months is that? 6 times 4. 6. Is that like, so roughly like 5, 6 months, something like that? Okay, that's what I'm saying. If you don't eat anything but fruit for 5 or 6 months, you'll do all right. And yeah, I have no problems with that. I tried eating like raw for like like a little bit more than that, and nothing really horrible happened to me. Yeah, cool. Doesn't mean that doesn't really prove anything. It just says, yeah, you probably won't die.
That's only one. I got a lot more.
What's the point? Logan, but you don't have to throw the science in. What's the point you're trying to make that you think I disagree with? Because I haven't disagreed with much of anything you said.
The point is, yeah. So here's what I see though on your channel. I see like, you'll make a raw fruitarian video, right? And it might not be like, the way you intend to make it, but it comes across as like, fruitarians believe this, or fruitarian, and you say fruitarian. It's not like you're just picking out this one guy. It's like raw fruit eater, like I could point that out later. I'm not going to go through all your videos, but like the message seems like it's like you're crapping on the fruitarian diet, and then all the people in the comments are all like, yeah, look at all these skinny guys on YouTube and this and that. And it's like, it's a total anecdote. They're anecdotal arguments, just like meat eaters make against vegans. And they're like, all these ex-vegans were raw fruitarians. And let's
talk about that. Because a lot of people get confused. I don't know why I have to keep explaining this point. I've never said that all or even most raw vegans end up becoming ex-vegans. I'd said it's like smoking. If you smoke cigarettes, it doesn't mean you'll die of lung cancer. It just increases your likelihood, the probability that you will get lung cancer. And my point with raw fruitarians, it doesn't mean you'll quit being vegan, but of course not. It just means the likelihood that you might not be vegan in several years is much higher than, say, for people who eat a balanced, sensible vegan diet, like say myself, or Vegan Zombie, or Dr. Garth Davis, stuff like that. It's just probability. I said there's nothing inevitable about that. I don't understand how people, I made it super clear, yet people keep saying, oh, I've been raw vegan 10 years and I haven't quit. Like, awesome, cool, good for you.
Yeah, I don't even think that's true though, like what you said.
It's absolutely true. Like, how many people
how many people
quit vegan?
I can link you here.
Let's talk about this. Let's look at how many people made these I'm no longer vegan videos in the past year, and how many of them had extended stints at raw veganism, and let's count them up, and let's count how many people made these same videos that just ate a balanced, sensible vegan diet for most of the time. It's staggering. You can't even make the comparison.
Well, you can, and see what you're doing. This is the problem. What you're doing right now is anecdotal. You're just looking at YouTube videos and you're saying these people said this, so therefore it's true. Now, if you actually look at studies, 84% of people who are vegan quit. Now they're not.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah, they're not raw fruitarians.
I've referenced that study many times, and I've even made a live presentation at San Diego Veg Fest referencing that same study. That's a whole. You're conflating. You're just going off on a different issue. I'm talking about the issue of raw vegans quitting. You don't see.
Yeah, but
I could actually do a study on this. I know how to run statistics programs. I could actually go through the YouTube channels that have been in existence for the past 5 years, count and find the ones that quit and ones that haven't, and make a chart and show there is a significant difference between those that had done extensive raw vegan diets and ones who haven't. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just doing it's a statistical fact. It's not anecdotal. Yeah, it's anecdotal what we just talked about right now, but I can plug the stats in if you'd like. That would be interesting because I know it's a significant difference.
No, but I was just going to say that, okay, just let me finish the thought. Right. So 84% of vegans on average quit.
And you see
those are not.
You see the reasons why too. It's not because
but let me finish.
Because they were sick and dying. Because most of them was social pressure, lack of community. Yes. These are and this study was from a while ago, back before there was online communities and vegan festivals like there is now. But yeah, continue on.
Okay. So 84% of vegans quit, right? And there's only a small percentage of those are raw fruitarians. Now, if you look at the study that you just talked about the one where women lost their periods, I believe it was over 90% of the people in that study wanted to stick with that diet afterwards. So there is evidence in studies already that show people wanted to stick with that diet, 90% of them, compared to 84% of vegans on average wanting to quit. So completely different sides of the spectrum of adherence to diets.
You're taking two different studies as a epidemiologist and trying to combine the two data sets together, and I don't know if you could compare the 90% from one study to the 85% to another there, but I mean I'm not sure what the point is we're arguing here. I'm just saying, can you just tell me, you watch YouTube, how many of these no longer vegan video people quit and they were eating predominantly just a balanced, sensible vegan diet that didn't include long stints at raw? How many can we name?
So why that's a bad argument?
I'm just asking. You don't have to tell me if it's good or bad. I'm just asking you as a person. Yeah. How many of these people can we name?
Yeah, but I could just say they're all vegans, so therefore a vegan diet sucks. I could say they're all YouTubers. I could insert anything.
Basically you can't answer my question because it's really hard.
No, I'm just saying why it's a terrible argument.
Okay,
there's no reason to answer it.
I'll go with you. Let's just say it's a terrible argument. Let's try to name some though.
I don't know. I don't even watch vegan YouTube, so I don't know.
Okay, well that's your answer then. I'm just saying it's more statistically likely if you're doing raw. And I'm not saying raw is bad. I think it might have something to do with the personalities that get into raw vegan YouTube. Perhaps I'm not sure what the underlying reason is. I'm just saying, objectively, there's a statistically significant difference between those who quit veganism because of raw and not.
Yeah, so we could do the same thing with people going to the gym or smoking cigarettes. Like, if more people stick with cigarettes than going to the gym, what does that really mean? Nothing.
Okay, so all right. So anyway, we're just getting off here. Yeah, and a good point here, Graven Babies. Yeah, veganism isn't a diet. Here's the whole point too. Yeah, veganism is a moral stance. It's a moral philosophy that finds it completely unacceptable to exploit and kill animals for food or clothing. That's what veganism is, and it happens to be a healthy diet if you choose to make it one.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to go by ethics, fruitarianism is more ethical, right?
Oh, really?
Would you agree with that?
How it's kind of funny because I was just on Vegan Zombies podcast or live stream last night, and I went to Woodstock Fruit Festival in 2013. They had like hundreds of different talks and lectures about how to buy fruit, how to find fruit, how to stay raw when you're traveling, how to go to the jungle and fast with some acupuncture dude. Not one class was on animal rights, on the moral, ethical principles of veganism. So there's nothing inherently ethical involved in a raw fruitarian movement. So I kind of find that a pretty extreme claim that, of course, raw veganism is more ethical than eating some, say, steamed broccoli. How is eating a banana, which I love, I just had my 7 bananas this morning, how is that more ethical than eating some steamed broccoli?
Well, the difference is monocrops, and I saw this in one of your videos too. That this is what really irked me in one of your
really?
videos. So this one was about Joe Rogan, and you made it about combine harvesters.
Yeah, the combine harvester argument.
So,
yeah.
And so in the video, you actually put a study on the screen that said you were saying that combine harvesters were fine because they actually did not kill any of the mice, and you took out one part of it and you highlighted it, and if you actually read on the screen right under it, it'll say almost all of those mice died
afterwards. Not from the combine harvester, but because there was no more crops to hide and birds could eat them. But that had
exactly
okay, but that had nothing to do with it. And first of all, here you missed the whole point of the argument, though. That was the first thing. The animals aren't stupid. They just don't stand there because animals are have good sense, hearing, smell. They know when something large and dangerous come at them. Just try to run up and touch a rabbit. You can't do it. So they just don't stand there like stupid idiots like Joe Rogan thinks they are. The greater point of this of the combine harvester argument, why it ultimately fails, is the crops that are grown in that method are typically ones that are feed crops for livestock. So it's just, if you don't like all this monocrop of corn and soy, stop raising factory farmed animals. That's the bigger point of the combine harvester argument.
Think about this. I'm in my house, right? I'm protected right now. I'm in my house. That's why my house exists, for protection and for a place to live. Somebody steamrolls my house with a steamroller, and I have to run outside, and then I die because of the elements out there, because of the animals or whatever's out there. You're saying the steamroller had nothing to do with it, and it was all because of fate, or what are you saying?
I'm saying you're missing the whole point too. If we're talking about monocrops, bananas, my favorite food, that's a giant monocrop. And I've said, how is eating some steamed broccoli less or more ethical than eating bananas? If you want to look at it that way, bananas probably are far more dangerous as far as being a monocrop and the effects it has on the environment. I don't see too many giant monocrops of broccoli. So you're just kind of like picking and choosing here, like which crops are more ethical or not. And the whole thing is, veganism is not a philosophy that says you're absolutely perfect. No harm comes whatsoever.
No,
even in your raw fruit, there's going to be some harm whatsoever. So don't use the argument appeal to futility fallacy here. That's what you're saying. That's what I'm kind of hearing here.
No, I didn't say that. I just said it's more ethical. I didn't say it's perfect.
How do you measure ethical? How do you measure?
I didn't say.
How do you measure the ethical?
You have to do
Let's
it.
do it. How do you measure? How do you even first measure ethicalness? I didn't know it could be quantified, but let's say you could. How can you say that steamed broccoli is less ethical than banana farming? I don't get it.
You're picking steamed broccoli though, and I'm going by like the staples. So I'm talking about like the wheat, the rice, the potatoes, the things that get pulled up like with combines. That's what I'm talking about. I actually
eat potatoes all the time, and I don't buy mine from the combine. That's why I tell people first, why are we supporting this environmentally destructive type of farming? You don't have to buy potatoes from combine harvester farming. I get mine from non-combine harvester sources. I encourage people to do so. So it's not a necessity.
But isn't that what your whole video is about? Like, you're saying that combine harvesters were fine. That's the whole message of that video.
I didn't say combine harvesters are fine. I said it's a lame argument against veganism for all the reasons I brought up here. First of all, veganism is not about perfection. It's pretty much impossible to have a harm-free lifestyle, no matter how much you may try. Secondly, most of the feed crops produced in the combine harvester system are not for human consumption. Secondly, animals don't die from the combine harvester. If they do die, it's because of the stupid effects of not stupid effects, just the unintended consequences. So, because here's Joe Rogan's point that all these bunnies and deers are being ground up by the combine harvester. Patently false.
Yeah, I agree with that, but then I totally disagree with the part that the combine had nothing to do with their death.
Okay, then fine. Let's stop combine harvester farming. If that's where you want to go with that, cool. I'm totally down with no combine harvester farming, because it's not the farming the combine harvester per se. It's the whole whole philosophy of farming, the whole method that goes along with that, the process of combine harvester farm. It's usually just monocrops, not good for the environment, pesticides, just used indiscriminately. It's not the most environmentally friendly and food friendly way of producing food. It's just a mass way for them to make it on the cheap.
Agreed. And yeah, in the same way that somebody or whoever just said that veganism isn't a diet, the same way that somebody who's a fruitarian might look at it and say fruitarianism isn't a diet, and they would look at it like as they're not going to eat bananas that are, harvested in a terrible way, that they're going to, they basically get it from the tree when it drops and stuff like that. Or you could look at it in the diet sense, which is not the ethical sense.
Okay. So that's my position on combine harvester argument. What else do you think I'm pooping on fruitarians on?
Well, I mean, for the environment, it's going to be better. Do you agree with that? Like if you had permacultures compared to monocrops, wouldn't that be better overall for the soil, for everything else?
What are you saying? But yeah, I mean, yeah, well, compared to the type of combine harvester farming methods we're talking about. Yeah, I just said I prefer. Yeah. I typically don't buy food from those kinds of farmers. Yeah.
Okay. So I just thought that was weird that you were sticking up for combines.
No, I'm just saying. Saying what Joe was saying about combines. The arguments he was saying about combines didn't really hold any water. I wasn't saying In fact, I probably made it clear. I don't typically support food from that type of environment. That's why we go to our the food that we do get. I want to eat good food.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, just so people know if they want to look up stuff, there is a video called "How Much Fruit Is Too Much." Have you seen that video from Gregor where he goes over all this stuff? So he talks about there's a Harvard Health study where they studied it, and they say any amount of fruit is perfectly fine for you. They talk about there's another diet called there's another study called Effect of a Very High Fiber Vegetable, Fruit, and Nut Diet, and that had amazing results as well.
So let me ask you, you've been asking all the questions lately too. What is so, assuming maybe you won't think it's so bad, what is so bad about the way I eat? I don't eat a fully raw diet. I know a lot of raw people say all these bad things are happening to my health. Do you believe that?
No. So I also people were ad homing me too in one of your streams saying that, he's not even fruitarian, he drinks beer and all this stuff. And I'm not. I just don't like bad arguments where people trash I
don't make bad arguments and I don't trash.
Okay. So yeah, I just think the whole series though of you created a whole series basically trashing fruitarians, which are people who they might be making stupid claims like some of them, but you're probably better off spend. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your time, but I'm just saying with a big platform like that, it might be better to not trash a diet that is probably more ethical, more environmentally friendly, and more equally healthy for you. That's all that's all I'm here for.
I don't know if it's more ethical or more environmentally friendly, but again, let me tell you, I don't trash people or their diets. I don't trash anything. I look at what the claims that some people make, and I put them under scientific scrutiny to see if the true facts about what we know about anthropology, what we know about science, actually support or don't support what they're saying. That's all I'm doing. If some people interpret that as trashing the diet, that's on them. I never say, and therefore, raw veganism sucks, and if you do it, you're an idiot. And I never say that. I just said this claim that it's our natural human diet doesn't really hold any water if you look at it with any kind of scientific scrutiny. Well, how is that trashing fruitarianism? I know people might not like.
I don't even get that. It's our natural diet. What does that even mean, though? Why is that good or bad?
Yeah, it's like the appeal to nature fallacy. If something's done in nature, it must be right. It must be good or something like that. So basically, the video. Let me just put it up on the screen again here. Not that one. Let's see. Yeah, this video here. Raw myths exposed. Fruitarian is the natural human diet. Again, I'll put the link in. Let me copy the link here. Put it into the show description. Everyone wants to see it. I'm not attacking anyone. I might be dispelling some of the claims that some people make. And again, I'm not just like saying, oh, I disagree with that. No, I'm showing why that claim is wrong and giving support and evidence why that is wrong. That is not trashing anyone. I'm not trashing a diet. I'm just saying some of the claims that some of the raw leaders make are really just out there. They're just really outlandish. They sound good. They have kind of a truthiness to them, but they're not actually truthful. That's it. I just want to.
I'll tell you
what.
I'll tell you something quickly here. I just saw your new video. It said raw diet doesn't cure the coronavirus or whatever. Like, is that somebody claim that?
Yeah, I don't want to bag on anyone, but yeah, there's some claims going on, and there's some. Since I made that video, people sent me other raw people who have been making even more bold claims than the ones I showed in that video. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous, but there is, like, I was looking some stuff up yesterday, and there is some truth to, like, curing lung damage afterwards with fruit. Like, if you eat, there's studies that show, you could just look this up right now. If you just punch in apples, tomatoes, and lung damage, studies will show up that show eating fruits, apples, and tomatoes after you suffer any sort of lung damage will help repair your lungs. So there is some truth to that, but I don't know what they claim.
I heard the word, and I mentioned it, the word preventing actually came up, so we want to be really careful. And Chris Kendall, I showed his clip because the Woodstock Fruit Festival people reached out to him, urging him to make some kind of video to support the all raw diet cause. And I like Chris. Like I said, he's a friend of mine. We've communicated since I put out the video, and he agrees he could have been a little more careful in his wording, and he left. I pinned his comment to the top of my video comments so everyone could see what his clarification there, and that was it. I just want people to be careful. I don't want misinformation being put out there about what diet is going to prevent you or make you whatever not get it, because we really don't know yet. There's no actual science out there saying eat this or don't eat that and you'll be better or worse off. So I was just trying to keep people honest about the claims they're making about effectiveness of other diet.
All right, and maybe I misrepresented what you're saying, and maybe you do, think it's completely fine. But then also, I read comments, I'm just going through the chat, and people are like, I know, and people are like, why isn't Logan fruitarian if he's sticking up for a fruitarian diet? Again, it's just like stupid ad homs and stuff. So
I don't know. Are you fruitarian, Logan? I have no idea. I just assumed you were.
Because I live in northern Canada, so it's pretty hard to be a fruitarian up here. So it's winter, 3 quarters of the year is snow outside. So.
Where do you, I know Chris Kendall lives in Canada. He's fruitarian. Is he more south than you are or something? Or I don't know.
Well, the problem is if you buy fruit from the grocery store, they let it go ripe on the shelves. So that is going to be a lot more sour and not as edible.
Actually, Logan, you're kind of bringing up my point. Why I tell people I don't really see how it's not a practical diet for many people for the reasons you're pointing here. The logistical problems. Even if you live down here and you access ripe fruit all the time, there's still the logistical problems of making sure that at all times of the eating part of the day, every day, 7 days a week, you have some fruit or vegetables that are ready to go. That's really tough.
Yeah. But then you have to just define practical, and then I could just say that a vegan diet isn't practical. So I mean, it's
why not? I always have. I always
have
food I can eat. I don't have to have something ripe and ready to go 24/7.
No, I mean, I could be a fruitarian if I wanted to put in all the work.
Yeah,
but I don't really see the need to now.
It is. Yeah, you're right. It is a lot of work. That's one reason why I tried it out. I said, this is a lot of freaking work, and I don't really see any gains or big benefits I'm getting out of it. And I felt just as good and much happier to not have to worry about all this ripening 24/7. Yeah, it is a job.
It's just however you define practical and whatever extent you want to go to have this diet.
A lot of people just don't simply have the time. If you're working 40 hours a week and living where you live, like you said, it could be really, it might be a whole nother job to find all the fruit. I mean, even when we went to Woodstock Fruit Festival, I mean, you would think they have their act together there. At least I think they have it down better now, but when we went in 2013, that was one of the hungriest weeks of my life. I can't believe I gave them $1,000 or $1,100 like really not give me enough food. It's really like the Woodstock Salad Festival. There's like way more salad going on, but they really didn't have ripe bananas, ripe mangoes. It was a eating disaster of sorts, which even showed me if they can't even get it together, it just shows you how it's not a very practical diet for most people.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's an equator diet. Like if you live by the equator and there's lots of trees everywhere and stuff, like there, you could find people on YouTube that they just like live under fruit trees and they just, basically bathe in the river. They have an iPhone and they, shoot YouTube videos in their loincloth. I mean, you could do it, and it's a free diet, if you live out there.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah, I'm all for finding ripe free fruit when I go places. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, again, it's not that practical. If you look at a map of the Earth, there's very little land along the equators as opposed to like say are the latitudes that we live at here. So yeah, we really can't have too many people living on the equators.
Yeah, there's a guy who's on my YouTube channel all the time. We do like live streams together. His name's Chris Bransier. He eats nothing but raw fruits and vegetables. He's perfectly fine for however many years. This is anecdotal, of course. We just had Mango Wadzak. I don't know if you know who that guy is. He's on my channel. Him and his wife have both been fruitarian for over 30 years. So it's not everybody's quitting. It's just these flaky teenagers who are trying something out for a week and being like, screw this.
Yeah, cool for them. Yeah, I never said don't do it. I mean, if that's what you really want to do, if you want to go through all of that's entailed with having ripe fruit all the time, cool. That's your trip. But again, I don't make videos attacking fruitarians or raw people for being raw. It's just some of the outrageous health and historical claims made about it. So if people have problems with me doing that, that's on them. Like I said, I have no problem with fruitarians. I have problems with some of the outrageous claims. You have anything else that you think I'm accusing me of?
No, I just can't stand your comments that you get. Like somebody
I have
just
no
wrote
control of the comments. I'm sure you get some.
Somebody just wrote anecdotal, and it's like I've been asking to show science this whole time, and you agree that it's fine. So I haven't shown you all the science, but like. So now we're talking about anecdotes, and people are like, anecdotal.
All right, actually, I'll check it out. I know you got to go pretty soon. If you want to shoot me a study that you think is pretty definitive about why eating all fruit is so awesome, because the one you sent me here, let me go back to, wrong tab. Let's see. This one here, it really, I tell you, isn't that strong conclusion? It just said the diet... The mainly fruit diet, I even have to say, I don't even know what mainly fruit means, but the diet was adequate with respect to the parameters investigated. I mean, that's cool. It doesn't say that, yes, we found, significant differences and it's obviously better. So if you have something like that, send it to me, please.
Yeah, they call it a mainly fruit diet because it was supplemented with nuts. So I don't even know why they call it supplemented. They just ate a little bit of nuts.
Okay, but if you have something that's more of a slam dunk than this adequate conclusion, please send it to me.
No. Yeah, so I got about 4 or 5 studies where people were on fruitarian diets and they all had great results, but it's not like we have 30-year studies and all that type of stuff. Those don't exist. But then also on the other hand, there's no bad studies except for the one that you mentioned, but that one they were fasting for weeks on end and at least half the people were fasting. So it doesn't... That one I can't even take as real.
I'll look at that. That's interesting. I actually never read the full text of that German study, so I will take a look at it because I'd like to see the method, see if they're truly fasting. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just want to actually read it because it sounds more interesting than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and people could, say whatever and be like, "Oh, it's stupid. You're gonna get too skinny. You're gonna get that." But there's no evidence for that. There's no evidence that. There's
anecdotal evidence for sure. I mean, that study, the German study that you have problems with, showed that. And for my own and Angie's personal experience, we're a case study of 2. But yeah, we both got extremely thin when we're eating a raw diet. So I mean, and I can see why it happens, especially for someone like myself, 6'4.5". That's a lot of calories to consume every day, and I'm sure it's easier if you only need like 2,000 calories a day. But if you need 3,000 plus, like me, that's a lot of food. That's a lot of eating. I'm at a great body weight now. I'm perfectly happy. I don't ever want to be like 20 pounds lighter again. I look at the photos from that time period too. It's like, holy crap! Well, how come I didn't realize how like super like high school thin I was getting?
Yeah, well, for the first 28 years of my life, I ate meat and I was 140 pounds. And then when I was 32, I was vegan and I was almost 200 pounds. So it's the exact opposite for me. So it's like, you know, it's all, those are all just like anecdotes again. But like if you, I mean, I don't know what you were eating. Were you eating a lot of nuts and seeds?
No,
Were you eating
no,
like,
we were high carb, low fat. I was eating like bananas all freaking day. I mean, more than just that, but I was trying to get a lot of calories from bananas because they're easy. I don't have to make anything. Angie would make us nice foods too. We were, doing high carb, low fat, raw vegan for did it like 7-8 months, and and we were super skinny. And I'm telling you, I've never been into fasting. I'm into eating a lot of food so I can do all the work I need to do, so I can work out as I need to. I was trying to get calories. I was consciously trying to overeat, and I still kept getting thinner and thinner. But again, that's my experience, but it happened to my wife too, and she was doing the same thing I was doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first time I saw you actually was like when I first went vegan. I was on Facebook and I saw one of those vegans owning people compilations, and you were on the 30 bananas a day doctor show telling them that you can't die from potassium overdose from bananas or something. So I was like,
I want to point out too, I have nothing against raw food in principle. I mean, I begin most of my days as a raw foodist. So far, all I've had today was raw food, and yesterday too, raw food followed by a breakfast followed by a raw food lunch. So I mean, it's like I have nothing against it. I just don't understand why that's all one needs to eat, because to me, it's so limiting. It's such an exclusionary diet. Like, why not eat steamed broccoli? I've never seen a study that steamed broccoli is bad for you. Why not eat potatoes? I've never seen a study that says a potato will take a second off your life or give you a disease. Mm-hmm. It just seems it just seems needlessly exclusionary, just excluding food groups that are associated with longevity and good health. I don't understand why you would intentionally not want to eat all these healthy vegan foods for. Maybe you can answer that for me.
Yeah. So I think what a lot of them think is that cooked foods can be mucus forming.
I've heard that one before too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not really like fully proven or anything, but like the and then also probably ethics. Like they think it's more ethical just waiting for a tree to drop a piece of fruit than eating something else, and they probably, just look at, our ancestors and that
so
type
you're
of crap.
Not you're not of the opinion that eating some steamed broccoli or eating a potato will take a second off my life.
No, if I had to pick something, I would eat steamed broccoli and I would eat potatoes over a whole lot of other vegan foods for sure. Like, if you're going to eat a whole foods plant-based diet, that's going to be, optimal. And if you're going to eat a fruitarian diet and say that's even better, like I'm not going to argue with you because I don't know if that's true or not, but
I'm just not sure. I just don't know what the big benefit is. I don't really see how one's going to live any longer if you give up these mucus forming. I always ask them too, like, okay, so show me the study. Let's just say that potatoes cause mucus. Is there any study saying that this mucus from potatoes will cause me to have heart disease or stroke or some disease that's going to shorten my life?
Well, there's some benefits I could think of just off like the top of my head. Like if you eat watery fruits, the water's filtered through the xylem of the tree or the plant and then goes into the fruit, and then your water is a little more clean than drinking water out of like a lead pipe or something, whatever's in your house. Like that's going to be cleaner because of how it got filtered, and then also you're not going to need to drink as much water, so it's going to be a little beneficial that way. But then also like the fructose gets metabolized quicker, so you have a quicker source of energy.
Is that necessarily a good thing? Because like the slow release of a potato is actually beneficial if you want the energy to sustain, rather than like the super cracked out spike hit that you get from like say juicing.
Yeah, you're not going to get cracked out from eating a watermelon, but I mean, if you first wake up and you want energy for your day, like fruit's going to hit you faster than something else. If you're looking for something to eat while exercising, like say you don't want to eat gels or something or drink Gatorade, like if you eat fruit while you're exercising, like I've heard, what's his name, Dr. Garth Davis. You've quoted him a lot in your videos. Like he talks about when you eat fruit, like exercising, he'll be running with an apple because that's like a healthier way to get energy quicker. He also says, like, this is also somewhat anecdotal, but he is a doctor who, studies people like in his lab, like all the time. He says fruitarians are the healthiest people that he's ever studied, their blood work and everything. So that's in a panel where he's debating Dr. Brian Clement on eating fruit. And Brian Clement, for whatever reason, thinks sprouts are good and fruit's not. And Gareth Davis is like sticking up for fruit. But that's something worth checking out anyways.
Yeah, I've got my blood test for my raw days compared to my non-raw days, and it's just kind of a trade-off. Some things are better, some things are worse. I never had like perfect everything. But yeah, I agree. I eat fruit all the time before exercising. You know, if I want to go on a run and I'm hungry from the night before for whatever reasons, have a banana. If you go to see professional tennis matches, they give the players their bananas. That's a common thing. I don't have to be a fruitarian to do that, but yeah, it's a common thing to have fruit while exercising.
Well, here's another thing to think about too, is like fruit digests quicker. There's a study I could send you where it talks about people ate 2,500 calories worth of fruit, and Dr. Greger kind of makes fun of this study a little bit because he says like they observed like the biggest craps they've ever seen in studies. But the good thing about like that study is it shows that it leaves people's colons like the cleanest to prevent colon cancer. So if you want like a super clean colon, because you know colon cancer is really huge in older males, then eating fruit is the way to go.
Bro, I don't want to get too personal here, but I poop wonderfully, man. It's not a problem.
No, but
not a problem.
You don't know what's building up in there, though. You don't know what, like, you know, carcinogens or whatever are building up in there. Yeah, that's another thing too.
Like potatoes and beans and stuff like that.
Yes,
but you're not going to get those carcinogens from like eating like watermelons.
No, because I'll tell you why. So if you cook like a baked potato in your oven and it blackens, that's carcinogen. Any blackened stuff on your food is...
No, we don't fry things and get them all blackened like that. That's just not good to eat anyway. Yeah. So I'm not.
No, but even baking it in your oven, if you get blackness on your potato, like on the skins or whatever, and you eat that, that's going to build up in your body those carcinogens.
Build up
right?
if you're doing that all the time. But yeah, we steam potatoes and we put them in our steam pot thing. So there's no acrylamide in that sort of cooking. We've always been into low acrylamide cooking, so that's not a problem. I think my butt is fine. In case you're curious about my butt health.
Yeah, but I mean, then like, do we know that whole foods, plant-based vegans never get colon cancer?
Again,
like, I don't know.
None of these things are nevers. You know, I just said like never. You know, do fruitarians never get cancer? I mean,
no, I'm just saying. My point is like, if that's a concern across the board for any male, then the thing that's going to prevent colon cancer the most, the diet that would, is a fruitarian.
I would love to see debate. Dr. Greger, Dr. Garth Davis suggesting that eating steamed potatoes, might raise your chances of colon cancer. I'd love to see what they have to say about that. No, not
steamed. I didn't say steamed.
Okay,
I said baked.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we pretty much have all ours steamed. Occasionally, we'll make some potato chips in the oven, but that's pretty rare. That's the only time the oven gets turned on in this house, basically.
There's some bad arguments though with cooked foods though. Like people will say, I don't know if you said this in a video before, but people will say, if you cook something, you can get like this one nutrient increases. Like you can get more vitamin C or A or whatever the heck it is, right?
Bioavailability you're talking about. That's true of foods, yeah.
Yeah, but who cares? Though?
I mean,
what does that matter?
Why does it matter? Because if you like starchy tubers, for instance, like potatoes, uncooked, they're not bioavailable. Once you cook them, they actually become bioavailable. That's why you want to be able to process your body to process the nutrients in the foods that you're eating, or else you just would poop it right out. It's just wasted eating.
So bioavailable is the argument. Like I should basically be having whey powder and eating humans. Like that's not a good argument for anything.
I don't see how we go from eating potatoes to eating humans. That seems
because they're the most bioavailable.
I never said we should eat the world's most bioavailable foods. I said if we eat foods, they should be foods that have their nutrients available for us to process. I mean, to extract it and get benefit from. I didn't say we should. I've never talked about. That's the diet I eat. The world's most bioavailable diet. I'm just saying, our food should be bioavailable. What's the point of eating a food that you're just going to poop out and get nothing out of? That's a waste of time in eating.
No, but all foods are bioavailable, right? You're going to get something out of the food that's going to be available, right? But you're saying it's the most bioavailable when it's cooked.
Well, yeah, I forgot. I believe you can. Someone could Google this for me. If you eat an uncooked potato, I think you can get something out of it. It's just a percentage, like maybe 10%, as opposed to the 100% you would get from cooking it. So that should be reason alone to cook your potatoes, and it makes it easier.
I agree with that. I agree with cooking cooking a potato, like I just saw a study that showed that exact same thing, a new thing, where it said raw versus cooked, and I thought they were going to compare, fruit versus potatoes, and it was raw potatoes versus cooked potatoes. But like obviously, yeah, cook a potato. I mean, but the point I'm making is like all fruits and vegetables, even though they're raw, there's going to be bioavailable. Now they might not be the most bioavailable, but that doesn't matter. That shouldn't be a thing that you look at as that's a marker for health, is something is more bioavailable. You should look at the overall diet and say, is anything deficient afterwards?
Yeah.
Now, if you could,
fine. Yeah, I don't worry about that. I didn't know that was a thing that some people worry about.
Yeah. I just don't like the bioavailable argument, period, because then we should be eating like animal products if we're worried about bioavailability.
I don't agree with that jump in logic, but that's cool. Let's move on to another topic. Or do you have to split soon? You said you're doing an interview on your channel really soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we want to discuss about it, but
let's just see if there's anything else that you or other people who are into raw diets accuse me of. I hope you're seeing I have no problem with people doing raw diets. I've never said that the diets are bad or the people are bad. Just some of the claims are bad. Huge distinction there.
Yeah, but don't you think claims from just any like tons of vegans are bad, period? Like, why does it have to be raw fruitarians all the time?
Okay, give me an example. I've shown you some, like one specific claim. This one right here. Oh, God dang it. This one right here, this particular claim, that fruitarian is the natural diet. That's a claim that a fruitarian, or many fruitarians have made, and I discussed it. So, yeah, what's a claim that a vegan has made that I should respond to? Maybe I have. Give me an example.
Well, I mean, that combines don't kill mice would be a good claim that vegans make. But, I can't think of it. I don't watch vegan YouTube, but I'm sure, like, I've been on Twitter and Facebook, and there's all sorts of just horrendous nonsense that vegans say too. But I just ignore it.
There's a few vegans out there who intentionally, I'm not going to mention any of his or her names, but some vegans intentionally, that the whole purpose of their channel is to make controversial claims that just get people all riled up. I've learned from my experience of responding to these people, again, I'm not going to mention any other names, it's best not to, because they're narcissists, and they'll just come and they'll respond to you, they'll send all their commenters, their fans over, and just leave all this hate. It's just drama, it's all these wars, and I'm too old, I'm 52, I don't have time just to engage in like this high school drama and fighting back and forth with people. So yeah, if you don't see me responding to some or all of the outrageous claims that every vegan makes, that's probably why. I've learned my lesson. I just want to do what I do and not be engage in that low level fighting.
All right. Well, I mean, well, thanks for having me on the channel though. I thought you were like avoiding talking to me about this because I don't know, for whatever reason or something. Maybe you thought my channel was too small.
No,
or something.
I'm always open for some discussions. That's cool. Yeah, as long as it's like I said, not involving attacking people, but involving talking rationally, logically, dialectic. I'm cool with that.
All right. Well, yeah. I think, I mean, I thought you thought something else, and that's why I came on here. I thought you just thought, a raw diet was unhealthy, and I just wanted to see some evidence.
Never said that.
Okay, yeah, so it's all good, I guess.
Yeah, so that's cool. I'm always glad to dispel some of the myths about me. I know there are many about me, strangely, I guess, but, anytime.
Yeah, I know Foot Soldier said a raw diet is unhealthy, and he refuses to discuss it with me, but, that's another story.
I'm just happy people are vegan. If they want to do it in a raw way, cool. I'm fine with that. It's just I just have issues with some of the claims made. But if you're not making all these claims that I need to debunk or discuss, you're probably never going to hear from me because I have no problem with people eating fruit.
It's been a while, so I forgot this one thing. One thing that made me think about this too was that Mike the Vegan made a video about fruitarians, and then there was a comment underneath from you that got pinned to the top about teeth erosion too, and that's also been debunked too. Like Gregor's made a video about that as well. It's like if you're worried about mouth health, right? If you're worried about your teeth and gums and you're eating fruit, like fruit has been shown to prevent oral cancer and be beneficial for your mouth and your bacteria and everything in there. And if you're eating unripe fruit, which is what I was saying, like you can get in the grocery store and it might be sour and it's not, it's not fully ripe yet, that can be bad for your teeth. But you shouldn't avoid eating fruit because it's bad for your teeth. The only thing you have to do is then rinse out your mouth with water afterwards, and it's completely beneficial. So like that comment too about fruitarians have teeth erosion, like that also made me think like this guy just has the wrong info.
I'd love to see the comment. I'll take a look, but here I'll just talk about my own experience. And also too, Michael Arnstein, the guy who runs Woodstock Fruit Festival, made a video about how after he went fruitarian, he went to the dentist and was surprised about, I forgot, it was like in double digits how many cavities he's had. That's not everyone's experience, but my experience had nothing. I had gum issues that had nothing to do with being fruitarian. My oral hygienist, I go to a really good like holistic dentist, and they told me specifically to avoid eating dried fruit, just for the fact I have some deep gum pockets, which come from just the way my jaw is structured and having not really gone to a dentist the entire time in my 30s. But anyway, I developed some pockets, and she recommends to avoid dried fruit so they don't accumulate in the pockets and deepen them. And I have followed that advice, and my gum pockets have grown back. They're not getting any bigger. So why would I avoid fruit? I eat fruit all the time. I just had 8 bananas for breakfast.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Fruit juice and dried fruit and unripe fruit are not going to be.
And I don't eat unripe fruit either. I'm really picky about having ripe fruit. So that's a non-issue as far as my mouth goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then on the other side of the spectrum, this is kind of like a two wrongs, make a right. I'm just saying starch also leads to cavities too, and
basically
gets stuck
it has
in the
to do with how
your
your mouth is structured, what's going on in your mouth. I've learned a lot. I tell you, really, really good dentists. They're all about educating people. I learned so much. You show me all the slides and everything what's going on. They write out a whole 3-page report about the structure of your mouth before they even touch you. They analyze it and do all this stuff. Anyway, the point is you just have to exercise good oral hygiene care, no matter what kind of diet you're on. And some people are lucky. They can get away with being a lot more freewheeling and not brushing their teeth and flossing. I have a water pick. I do all sorts of stuff to get the stuff out of my teeth. And it's really, diet is not the biggest factor. The factor is how your mouth's structured and how well you take care of your teeth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I talked about this before when I was on your channel a long time ago. Is like they actually say that the jaw structure of a human is frugivorous, but then actually why people need so much dental work now is because we started eating cooked foods and it was mush and it made our teeth go all messed up. But
I know fruit can get stuck in between your teeth too and cause problems. So I mean, anything can, because it's the bacteria that feed off the food that's stuck in your mouth. They're just feasting in there all day, and it's not the bacteria that actually causes the problem. It's their poop that causes problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to get going because I got that live stream coming up with somebody. I'm not going to mention their name, but it's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, anybody in the comments who's skeptical of any of these studies or anything, just let me know. I'll send them to you. And I
said too, you can send me on Facebook. If you have any study, it's like a slam dunk that shows like, oh yeah, the fruitarian diet is super great or whatever, better than adequate. Show it to me. I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that I'm not claiming it's better than a whole foods plant-based diet. I'm just saying it's a great diet. And a lot of these people that you see on YouTube that are starving to death, and I'm a fruitarian, those people are homeless, all right? They're eating from the trees on a beach because they don't have a house, okay? They don't have money to buy fruit, and that's the problem there. But, I mean, that's also anecdotal. But that's what I see on YouTube is like this guy doesn't even have a house. And, of course, he's starving. But, yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on.
All right, cool, Logan. Thanks for coming, and we'll chat again in the future. And I'll stick on for a little while for people who want to ask some questions. But, yeah, good luck with your next interview.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Bye, Logan. Okay, hang on one second, guys. Let me see what I need to do here to... actually, 1 second. I know what I need to do here. That Logan is gone. Okay, and I'll drag me here and make me a little bigger now. 1 second, and then I'll get to y'all. Okay, we'll just do this for now. All right, so guys, hey Tracy, thanks for being here. I hope you got my text, and Cool. Any questions? Any things I didn't see in the comments this whole time because I was talking to Logan? Any questions? Any comments? Anything I should have covered there? I'm glad I did it because, yeah, like I said, a lot of people have misconceptions about my positions, and I'm not sure why people think that I'm like, you know, saying all these like debunking their diet or saying they're bad people or something like that. Just the claims. That's all I ever do. You know, I never said Joe Rogan's a bad person or anything like that. It's just the claims he makes, and same with the some of the Fruitarian elders. Yeah, Humus, I'm with you. Like I said, as long as they're vegan, I don't care. I really don't care if someone's a raw vegan or a junk food vegan or whatever. I mean, of course, I think some ways of eating vegan are healthier than others, but I'm really into it for, you know, so animals don't need to die in order for us to live and do our thing here. So if you're going to do it through raw food, cool. If you're just going to eat a bunch of frozen vegan pizzas and burgers, cool. You know, even a Beyond Burger compared to a traditional burger uses 90% less land, 90% less water, half the energy. So it's just a win-win, you know? Doesn't matter. As long as you're vegan, I'm cool with it. Yeah, Tracy. Yeah, you still don't think Logan agreed with the point of my videos. I do not attack. They're not attacks. They do point out weaknesses of some claims that some raw foodists make. Yeah, that's simply it. And then, you know, if they get all butthurt, for lack of a better word, about that I debunked a claim, I think they just kind of get too emotional and lose sight of what I was doing there. I wasn't attacking the person. I was attacking the logic, the claim, not the person, not the diet even. Yeah, but that aside, I really don't understand why one would intentionally, like I told Logan, intentionally restrict eating perfectly healthy foods. Like, you know, study after study has shown legumes are associated with longevity. I've never seen a study saying steamed broccoli or potatoes will take a day off your life or cause disease. I'm not sure why people would intentionally not eat perfectly healthy foods and just, like, you know, just be hungry if they can't, you know, get fruit. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's see, why did Logan want to debate? Was he upset about a video I made in 2018? He said he was just kind of upset, I don't think that was his word, about several videos I've made critical of some of the the claims of some of these raw leaders. That's it. All right, so what else you guys are asking here? Yeah, I'm with you, Molson. Yeah, Molson. Yeah, you don't care what diet people follow as long as if they don't blame veganism if they F it up, you know? Yeah, it's cool. If people are raw, that's cool. But yeah, some people, I don't want to mention any names right now. We all know who we're talking about. They were like, you know, doing extreme things, extreme like fasting and drinking bodily fluids and raw, and then they blame veganism on it. Maybe it's the urine drink. Who knows? Why blame veganism? We're doing a whole bunch of weird things. Why? I don't understand why it's so obvious to them that veganism was the thing that made them ill. 3D Jaw? Let's see. Millennial? I'm not a millennial. Maybe Logan is millennial. I'm a little too old. So why isn't Logan raw fruitarian? Asked Kurakov. He said he lives in northern Canada, and it's you know, it would. I don't think he said it exactly like this, but it's kind of hard, you know. It would take a lot of work. It'd be like a full-time job to find all the raw fruit you'd need to eat 7 days a week and ripen it and all of that. So yeah, he kind of admitted in a roundabout way you know, it's not the most practical and easy to follow diet, which is another reason why I asked, why would you do that? Why'd you exclude like just going out and buying some potatoes and you know, if to eat just fully raw? Let's see. Logan is 37 to 38. He looks younger. I didn't really get a good look at him with those big sunglasses on. I didn't ask him why I had him on. I guess I could have, but I figured that's his business, not mine. What are my thoughts? Asked Timothy. Fruitarian and athletics can it work? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, you can make almost any diet work. I mean, there's professional athletes that live off junk food. You know, you can make any diet work. Now, I'm not comparing Fruitarian to junk food. I'm just saying, yeah, it definitely works. When I went to Woodstock in 2013, I hung out with many, great athletes there. Typically, though, most and I'm just generalizing. I'm not saying this is a hard and fast rule 100%, but it seems to work best for more endurance athletes. Not to say there's not strength Fruitarians out there. I know there are, but there seems to be a preponderance of endurance athletes that raw veganism works really well for. How or why do we set up the debate, and when did it come about? Well, we've been chatting about it for a few weeks. Remember, he was busy. Then this whole pandemic thing broke out, and I kind of had other things on my mind. And I finally got back to messaging him in the past few days, and we found this window today. I said, let's just hop on right now and do it. So that's how it happened. He just had issues with my raw Fruitarian videos. Yeah, I'm with you, Hummus. Yeah, if people want to do raw, that's cool. But I said it's a lot less practical and a bit unnecessary. I mean, like I said, I've never seen a study that's saying eating a potato will take a day off my life or increase my risk for a disease that will shorten my life. Is really, yeah. I mean, if you just do it because you love it and you just love fruit and the tropics and the equator lifestyle so much, cool. I'm not going to force a potato down you. Yep, I'm with you, Hummus. I just rather eat how I eat now. A sensible, balanced, vegan diet, whole food based, that has fruits, raw fruits. Like I said, I eat more raw fruit than some of these. I might eat more raw than Logan does, Some days, maybe 2 of my 3 meals are raw. Today, just 1 will be probably my breakfast, Hey, Joey, well, thanks for the super chat tip there for Joey. First of all, thanks so much. I mean, my anthropological background, it's not like I have a degree in anthropology. My degree is in philosophy. I've had anthropology studies, and if I could go back in time, I probably would now change my major to anthropology. It's something I've liked my whole life. Like astronomy. I've been following astronomy for my whole life as well. So it's just something I have a little bit of knowledge in. I wouldn't consider myself an expert or scholar, but I know a little bit. I've read and studied a bit in both, and things outside of philosophy like anthropology and astronomy. So thanks so much for your super chat tip there, Joy. Are you an anthropologist by any chance? That'd be awesome if we have a vegan anthropologist on here. Let's see, Christine, you love eating raw, but stocked up on some packaged food when the pandemic hit. Apparently, a lot of non-vegans are doing that as well. As you guys probably seen, the rice, the potatoes, the legumes, those are really hard to find. And the bananas, like Whole Foods, I tried to order online. They limited how many bananas I could eat. Like they're rationing the bananas. Like, really, who's eating bananas? I don't understand. There's a pandemic, and all of a sudden, people now, by golly, I want bananas, toilet paper, and bananas. I don't understand. What do you say to meat eaters who say we always ate meat and have articles to back up this claim? Good question there. Let me go back to my browser and you can show them this video of mine here. Let's see. First, I'll show you what video I'm talking about here. This video here, Raw Myths Exposed, Fruitarian is the Natural Human Diet. And you'll see we are very plant eaters. If you go back to I guess you could cherry pick what part in history they're looking for. Are you talking about like the Paleolithic area? I'm going back to Homo erectus and Australopithecus, where we didn't eat meat. First start out as fruit eaters and then switch to fruit and starch eaters. So check out that link, show them that video, and if they can debunk it, then they have an alternative form of anthropology that goes against the mainstream. Let's see. Why I'm no longer vegan. That's your name? As a non-vegan, you bought a ton of carrots, quinoa, and frozen meat. Interesting. Okay, thanks for sharing that. Gomez, you're well stocked and glad. Yeah, unfortunately, this thing's gonna, run for at least another month. At least here we're going to be in quarantine or whatever you call it, lockdown, whatever they're calling it, at least through the next through April. So hopefully you can stock back up. Let's see, what else have I been missing here? What do I think about raw versus fruitarian? Asked the matron's militia. Yeah, I know there is a difference, for sure. I guess raw is better because it's a less restrictive diet than a fruitarian diet. Fruitarian diet is raw and restricts things that raw people wouldn't eat. So raw is a little bit more. They'll eat fruit and they could eat other stuff that fruitarians won't eat. So I guess that's a little. I'm just looking at the restrictiveness. Again, I don't understand why force upon yourself needlessly to eat such a restrictive diet. Because vegan haters will say a vegan diet's restrictive, which I say it's not. But once you eliminate, all food that's ever going to get warmed up, then it becomes a really restrictive diet. And they're right then, I guess. Oh, okay, Tracy. Well, thanks for being here. I think I can't stay on too long, too. I've already been on, well over an hour with our debate here. So thanks for moderating, Tracy. Appreciate it. I haven't really seen any trouble, and I'm sure it's all thanks to you. Thanks, Tracy, the moderators. Give her big thanks, guys. She really, really helps keep our chats here really nice and clean. Let's see. Were there, Joey? Calling humans fruitarians is misleading. Well, human beings like Homo sapiens were never fruitarian. You have to go all the way back, if you're into anthropology, to Australopithecus, and that's where the turning point happened. And the early part of Australopithecus, I think that's 4 million years ago, yeah, we were fully raw, eating primarily fruit. Somewhere after that, maybe around 2 million years back, that's when they started to discover that, hey, if we go down into the ground and figure out a way to heat up these starchy tubers, we have an unlimited supply of food that no other species is competing with. So, I guess it depends how far back you go. But yeah, Homo sapiens were never fruitarians. Unless you talk about guys like right now that are living a fruitarian lifestyle. Yeah, Gonza, I'm seeing that too. Yeah, it seems like healthier foods are getting harder to find at the stores. Who would have thought it was going to be a pandemic that would inspire people or force people, I'm not sure what the verb is, to eat a little better, huh? Let's see. Yeah, World Reform Media. I like fruit. Yeah, fruit looks wonderful to the eye. It's often beautiful. It tastes good when ripe and grown well. Yeah, I agree. But that doesn't mean I just want to eat only fruit, though. I mean, there's other great foods that are not fruit that I want to have. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Joey. Yeah, primates also do eat meat, even though that's not their primary food of choice. Chimpanzees, which is one of our closest relatives, I've read reports how they will eat the flesh of other chimpanzees when they're fighting them. Like chimps are really violent creatures, and they'll eat meat of their victims, if I remember right. While our other genetically close relative, equally as close as the chimpanzee, bonobos, aren't violent. And if I remember right, they don't eat the flesh of other creatures. They're true vegans. I mean, they don't have the moral stance or anything like that. But yeah, it depends. Like I said, we're equally as close genetically to the bonobo and chimp. So which one are we more like? It seems like we're equally both. We can be really aggressive and destructive like the chimp and kill, and more peaceful and loving like bonobo. Hey, Leah, I'm not sure where Angie is. I actually left her outside. She was getting some sun in the side yard when I told her, yeah, I'm going to do this debate with Logan. So I thought I heard her come in the house. She's probably, I don't know what she's doing. Not really sure. I don't know. We'll see if she comes in or not, but I might be going pretty soon. She might be making us some food. We're going to watch at 5 in an hour and a half, Dead and Company, the Grateful Dead, they're putting out now during the pandemic a free concert every Saturday, one more Saturday night. So she was talking about making us like this bean dip that we had taken to one of the Hollywood Bowl shows a few years ago to see them. I think she said she's going to make it for us tonight so we can kind of relive the experience here. So that's really cool of the Dead to give out some free concerts for us to help, make the get through the pandemic a little less lame. But anyway, how do you respond to someone saying humans have never eaten a 100% plant-based diet in history, and that eating a 100% vegan-based diet is risky? Well, again, you can point to a link to this video where it shows our ancestors did eat a 100% plant-based diet, and they're right. These weren't Homo sapiens. This is Australopithecus, yeah, so you have to go back to that far. Maybe Homo erectus too, a few 100,000 years ago. But that could just be because humans had left our original, South African cradle where we had all our original food sources. As we expanded throughout the world, we had to adapt and did whatever we needed to do to eat. So humans had this ability to eat non-plants as well and survive. Doesn't make it right that that's how we should eat forever. In fact, as they want to talk about what's our best diet, why isn't it that eating a whole food plant-based diet increases your risk of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, like eating a non-vegan diet does? So I should say something, that there is a buildup, a long-term effect of not eating a plant-based diet. And hell, who cares what people did hundreds of thousands of years ago? It's 2020 right now. We have to get our crap together now. Environmentally, we're destroying the planet. Pandemic-wise, what's happening right now can easily happen again. In fact, that's going to be the topic of my next video. I'm going to do more research in that and hopefully film it tomorrow. I'll get it out by Monday, hopefully, about how this could be the first of many to come. Just what's happening, how animals are losing their natural habitat, and the wet markets and all this stuff that you guys have probably heard about. Pandemic outbreaks like this can happen much more frequently than once in 100 years. So now is even more, critical of a time to eat more plants. Yeah, the good guy. Yeah, if these wet markets didn't exist, that's been the breeding ground for the vast majority of these viral outbreaks, I guess is what they're called. They're not all pandemics. This one truly became one. It's from animals being in, and not just animals like dogs. We're talking about like animals for food, just being kept next to animals that have been slaughtered, and people right next to that, all the goop mixing together, stressed out animals. Yeah, you're right. People don't like to hear that, but it's true. And some of the major mainstream media sources are finally talking about this too, how it's our eating of animals that's directly responsible for what's happening right now. Let's see. Any other questions here? Let's see what you guys are asking here. Let's see. Liv, what do you see up there? Pretty sure we're not violent primates. Otherwise, our world would be very unstable. Well, it's kind of falling apart a little bit right now. Let's see, Timothy, what do you say? I might have missed the question. The topic of morality came up with crop growing. Your thoughts on eventually going to hydroponic vertical farming using large buildings to avoid harming animals? Yeah, that sounds good. I mean, I really don't like to support methods of agriculture that are just bad on all levels. Like, the monocrops are bad environmentally, bad on the ecosystems that live there, bad on destroying the soil, by using poor farming practices, by just putting pesticides, fungicides, fertilizer, just bad practices. So yeah, I encourage people not to support that, because we can vote with our dollars. And yeah, what you're suggesting there is a great alternative to that. There's many ways to improve upon industrial agriculture. What's that, Gomez? You're plant-based, vegan now, 55 years? You've been vegan 55 years, or you're 55 years old? I've never met a 55-year vegan. Not an issue in your health, and healthier than most. Yeah. I mean, who knows if vertical farming is the answer? I mean, it sounds like an answer. I didn't say there's like one answer. I'm just saying methods that get us away from industrial agriculture are going to work. And yeah, vertical farming can work. I have to learn more about it and see it, but I know what works right now. The small farms that we buy a lot of our food from here, like, the small farms that show up at many farmers markets that you see around the country and around the world. They're not using combine harvesters and Monsanto and all that stuff. Let's see. Okay, that person has been vegan for 55 years. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Awesome. Good for you. So it shows you, yeah, you can be a long-term vegan. Not that I ever doubted that for a second. Let's see, Vegan Metalhead, a discussion with me about music and veganism. What kind of discussion, Vegan Metalhead? Like a live chat sort of thing, or what? What's your idea? Or just a discussion in here? Should we like change gears and talk about music a little bit? What's your thought there? Okay, Joey, interesting, cool. Yeah, I would like to learn more about better agricultural methods for the for the planet, for our for ecosystems and all that. So please, yeah, if you have anything you want to tell me about, cool. Live chat sometime. All right, Vegan Metalhead. Let's see. Yeah, you'll just need a way to find me. I would say, Vegan Metalhead, send me a DM on Twitter. On Twitter, my profile is Happy Healthy Vegan, or at Ryan Lum, RYANLUM. Just find me there, send me a DM, and we'll be able to communicate and plan how to do that. That'd be cool. Totally. Daniel, why are you saying vegans have it hard right now? I mean, everyone's got it hard right now, right? So Ezekiel, you're one of these people that think that the Chinese live markets, the wet markets, have absolutely nothing to do with this or any other like viral outbreak or this pandemic. There's a lot of evidence saying they do. It's just the perfect breeding ground for developing pandemics, having humans and animals and just wild animals, sick animals, stressed animals, dead animals, guts of animals, all intermingling in really close proximity. You couldn't ask for a better laboratory for a virus to jump species. Yeah, did it jump from a plant? Yeah, that's what I've brought up to people. I've never seen a pandemic caused from like cucumber agriculture or potato agriculture. It's these zoonotic, they're called zoonotic for a reason. They originate in animals. It says you can't message me on Twitter. Let's see. What's your Twitter name? And I'll follow you. I think that might be the problem there. Maybe I have my preferences locked down. I haven't looked at my Twitter preferences for a while. Dad, let me know your Twitter name and I'll go follow you. Yeah, that's a painting of Angie on the wall. Yeah. Yeah, long story short, but yeah, she was an art model. A student made this nice painting of her and gave it to her, and we had nowhere to hang it for the longest time. And finally, rearranging this room, ended up having a lot of wall space there. It's like, hell, I'm gonna go get that painting and put it right there, and it's cool. And she used to have short black hair like that. Yeah, it's a nice painting. Yeah, got it for free too, and it's of my wife. Have I considered moving somewhere else? LA is killing the Colorado River Delta. I mean, everyone's, it's not just LA. I mean, just everyone's, I've read the politics of the Colorado River water. Everyone wants that water. Nevada, Arizona, California, Mexico wants the water too. And unfortunately, there's no water by the time it makes its way down to the Sea of Cortez, the Gulf of California. Let's see, Metalhead. Have I found you here with your Twitter name? Okay, not seeing it yet. Hey, Joseph Bravo. Trini Vegan, you like when Angie on our Instagram. If you guys aren't following our Instagram, do it now. That's Angie's work there. She's our photographer and historian. Yeah, you love the posts where she puts the old pics of us to see how we've changed, like, you know, from 10, 20 years ago. Yeah, follow us on Instagram. Happy Healthy Vegan. Couldn't be easier. Make sure she posts, like, you know, several times a day there. So if you want to see what Angie's up to on a daily basis, please follow Happy Healthy Vegan on Instagram. I don't know if you're still trying, Vegan Metalhead, to message me on Twitter. Another option too is you can just message me off happyhealthyvegan.org. There's a contact page there, and I'll get the message there as well if you want to discuss a potential live stream of sorts. So yeah, just one way or another. If you can't DM me on Twitter, do that. Do we still have plenty of TP? Well, thanks to Tracy, the moderator, who sent us 5 rolls of toilet paper. Yeah, we're doing pretty good right now. We just started using the first of those 5 rolls. And we have a bidet here, too. So between that, I think we're going to be good for at least a month or so. So what? Logan's gone. We started this an hour and a half ago. Logan had to go. He had another interview he was doing on his channel. So, yeah. He was here. And this video, I'll leave it up for a while. And I said Logan could download it too and put it on his channel. So you can see the whole thing later on. But you have the link here. So when this live stream is done, just wait a second and just hit this link again or refresh your browser. And you should be able to see this from the beginning. Okay, you commented on my last tweet. All right, cool. That was the tweet about my that app I got from the Apple App Store that showed what they recommended I do about COVID-19 given my symptoms. If that's the one, I'll look for you there. In fact, I'll get a notification. I'll see it. So yeah, follow me if you guys haven't already, at Ryan Lum on Twitter, or just Happy Healthy Vegan. It's all one and the same. No, Logan didn't run away and cry. He had an interview with some non-vegan, anti-vegan person that, I don't know if it was an interview, he was doing something with an unnamed anti-vegan person. What kind of channel does he have? I'm not sure exactly. I haven't really watched his content. Yeah, at times like this, yeah, we need help finding some things, and Plants for the Win, like us, had to get toilet paper from a friend, so thanks to good friends helping us out. I don't understand, how long is this going to go on with the toilet paper? I thought it'd be back in stock eventually. I don't understand. Like, I guess everyone's out, right? So it's just, as soon as they get it, it's gone. Why are all the celebs getting COVID? Because they're the ones that are getting tested. You know, here, at least in the United States, there's not enough testing, and our government's recommending that testing be reserved only for people that are like really sick, just to confirm that they have it. But I guess, you know, celebrities and you know, politicians and people of that, you know, privileged elite status are they're making exceptions for them. Yeah, I guess you could use banana peels to wipe your bum if you really are out of stuff. Hey, Beth. Hey, thanks, Beth. I haven't seen you here on a live chat for a bit. I guess I haven't done one this early for a while. Maybe you're asleep when I do my nighttime zones, but good to see you, Beth. And thank you so much for your super chat tip. And that will definitely help us out right now for sure. Thank you. And you'll see a shout out again, sitting on my Twitter. If you go to our Twitter at Ryan Lum or Happy Healthy Vegan, everyone who has super chatted us today, like Beth and Joey Kane and Leonardo da Vinci did one right when we got our debate going. You guys will all see a shout out for you, thanking you for your kind tips there. So thank you. Hey, Joseph, we got a moderator back. Yeah, Tracy had to go. Let's see. What's that, Joseph? I'm no longer vegan is a troll. She should get banned. Her profile pic is sweet, simple vegan. Yeah, that's not cool. That's our friend Jasmine. So why I'm no longer vegan? It's not sweet, simple vegan. I can't click that. Research that, Joseph. Why I'm no longer vegan. If you are using a known vegan personalities image, yeah, I don't want that going on here. So yeah, I'll have Joseph investigate it. So yeah, do what you need to do, Joseph. If you're not doing that, cool, but yeah, don't do that. I don't want that to happen. Jasmine's cool. She's a friend of ours. Wow, good guy. So yeah, tell me that Gomez, who's still here, you've been vegan for 55 years. Can you imagine living the world 55 years ago as a vegan? I can't. I mean, it was just difficult enough to be vegan 10 years ago, 20 years ago, but I can't imagine 50 years ago, 55 years ago. Wow. Yeah, kudos to you, Gomez. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, it doesn't look like Jasmine. Yeah, I'm not clicking. I just have a little tiny icon, so I can't really see if that's Jasmine or not. Yeah, and she's really sweet, so I don't want anyone picking on Jasmine. She's really a sweet girl. Okay, you guys don't think so either? Okay, we'll let it go for now, but well, I'm no longer vegan. If you're here to troll, because that's kind of a trolly name, just saying, you can be here as long as you are, a respectful participator in our discussion here. No trolling is what I'm saying. If so, me or Joseph will do what we need to do. Yeah, we're not hating on Logan, guys. I never encourage anyone to hate on Logan or anything like that. So yeah, he has a different point of view than many of like say like maybe Vegan Zombie or Mike the Vegan or Vegan Games or something like that. But yeah, I wasn't encouraging people to hate on Logan. I was respectful of him and hope you guys were too. Noveris, vegan 27 years, your whole life? Wow, that's cool. How'd you go vegan your whole life? Were you born into from vegan parents? Curious, because I've no vegan parents that are raising their kids vegan, so I guess you might be one of those. Let's see. Okay, so why I'm no longer vegan, saying it's not Jasmine, it's from Vegan Zombies video when he went to the Impossible Burger booth. That whole fiasco, if you guys remember that. You know, they're serving a vegan product there, the Impossible Burger Patty, yet serving it with non-vegan, what's that called? Just stuff, maybe the bread wasn't or one of the toppings wasn't, whatever, but that was lame. So anyway, that's cool. Not that that's cool, but if that's your image, that's cool. Would I debate Mark Tassi? Yeah, I know Mark. I've told you he's an acquaintance of ours from the LA fruit scene, and I'll talk to Mark for sure. Yeah, we know each other. We've been to many fruit events around LA. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Yeah, that would be cool to have been born unto vegan parents. That would be rad. Wow, Beth. Okay, we're born in the same year. I was born in 67 too, and you've always known plant-based. Well, I wish I could say the same. Yeah, my parents were really had nothing to do with plant-based eating. That's just how it is, But yeah, things are different now. That was it. Impossible gave Chris some non-vegan cheese. That was it. I'm sure there's something non-vegan about it. I mean, even though I understand their demographic for Impossible is not for vegans, but they have to be aware they're a vegan product, and a lot of vegans are sampling their product with the belief that they're eating a vegan product, but to put a non-vegan cheese on there is lame. So yeah, they need to be more clear. These companies that have vegan foods that are making them intentionally non-vegan, they have to be extremely clear about what they're serving. Have signage so that any reasonable person would know what's going on. But preferably, though, they shouldn't even do that. They just put their burger out there and keep it vegan. I mean, just. There's good vegan cheeses out there that people would never know that were vegan cheeses because they're so good now. Just just walk your talk. If you really support veganism, and you think they would, since they're making a vegan burger product, they should just go all the way. Let's see. Gomez, born in 64. Wow, okay. Yeah, you really are 55 then. Let's see. Not that I doubted you or anything like that. Yeah, the expo that Chris went to, that this whole situation happened at, was canceled. It was supposed to happen a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And they've canceled the LA version for this year. They're going to try to put all their efforts into making the East Coast one, like a world-class one, like this one is out here. However, I think they're rescheduling the East Coast one. They're scheduling it for September, and that's right when there could be another bump in COVID. So who knows if that one will get shut down and canceled as well. It's gonna be a weird year. It's gonna be really hard for large events to plan, confidently that they'll be able to proceed and not get canceled. There's just so much, uncertainty right now. Wow, we have a lot of people telling us they're vegan this year. 3 years, 20 years, 6 years. Awesome. Yeah, this will be my 10th year. Do I like eggplant? Yeah, Angie made us a few nice eggplant dishes recently, because we bought eggplant last time we went to the market. We went to the Indian market. They had lots of eggplant, so we stocked up. I thought they said September, produce not pills. I thought that's when I've got a bunch of emails from Natural Products Expo. I thought that's what they said. They're when they're scheduling their East Coast Expo. I could have sworn they said September. They're going to try to go all out and make it a huge, big one. 13 years, Human's Hero. Wow, dang. Metalhead, 6 years, awesome. See, it shows you how vegan diets are sustainable. They're practical. You can do it for the long term, and you don't fall apart or anything like that. This thing won't be over in September. Well, it could be better, like say in a month or two's time, something like that. I've seen the models that the disease experts use, and models are only as good as the data and assumptions put into them. And some of the models show that there could be another surge, again, not as intense as the one now, because more of us will be already immune to it by then, because we will have had it either knowingly or not, and not get it, and therefore not transmit it any longer. So there could be another spike in the fall, is what I saw. Could be October, something like that, but it is possible. Not to say this is a known fact, but there are many models showing that could happen. So there might be another few weeks of what we're going through now again in the fall. Don't know. Have no idea. Don't know. A lot of uncertainty, like I said. Oh, Pat, what'd you do? I will tell Angie. You made her creamy mushroom pasta dish. Ah, man. For my non-vegan husband, and he loved it. Cool. That's the best way to show people how good vegan diets are. Just make them some good, tasty food. Let's see. How's your vegetable garden going, Beth? Getting loaded with more and more plants. I never met a vegetable we didn't like. Yeah, Angie and I were talking. We should try to get some more food growing here, but we're just so challenged. We don't get a lot of good sunlight here, the way the neighbor's house is and the way our yard's positioned. So yeah, we don't really grow too much food. I'm envious of you is what I'm saying. You hope I don't make this video private/unlisted. I probably won't, good guy, because Logan wants to get this video too, and I'll leave this one up. It's these videos, these live streams where I have a guest on. I've been leaving them up because they're different from the the regular ones where I just talk to you guys like I'm doing now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I saw that new vid from Mike a couple of days ago. I haven't seen it yet, but I should watch it, because that's part of what I'm doing a video on, is about how pandemics like this, these zoonotic diseases, can be not as rare as they have been. We're kind of creating conditions for these to rise more and more. So I'd like to see what Mike has there. Let's see. Yeah, Joseph, I'm totally with you, man. Yeah, I saw that unemployment now is like, climbing up to like 30%, which is where the United States was during the Great Depression, So things are getting serious. And then there's a lot of people who can't file for unemployment. Like I've seen some companies who didn't lay off their workers like in the ethical way. They just said, all right, we're just going to give you 0 hours for the time being. We still have you, you're still an employee, but we're not going to give you any hours. So those people can't file for unemployment. So it's probably worse than the numbers are indicating. This can be really, coming out of this, it could be a long time. It could be a year plus before life as we know it is economically kind of how we remember it being. Who is Logan? Logan Blake. He's of the channel Logan. I think he's just calling it Logan Blake now. Thunder Bay Personal Trainer is also his name as well. So yeah, that's who he is. He's a Canadian vegan who is a proponent or advocate of raw vegan diets, even though he said he himself is not one, at least not all year. Oh man, sorry to hear about that, Matron's Militia. Let's see. Wow. Okay, more people telling us they're vegan. How long they've been vegan? Awesome. You're laid off until April 12th. That's cool, I guess, in the sense that can you get unemployment plans for the win if they laid you off? And then until April 12th, meaning that you're rehired. How does that work out? Are you one of these people I said they just gave you 0 hours, so you're kind of like not able to get any unemployment or anything like that? Sure, Riley, I enjoy talking with you guys. And this is a different time for me to come on. I usually come on a little bit later than this, so I know like people from like Europe, it's easier for you guys to watch me if I were to come on earlier. So I'll kind of mix my times up. I just won't come on the same kind of late West Coast time that I normally do. Let's see. Yeah, Humus here. I see you guys talking about why I'm no longer vegan, about hair falling out. I've seen this what do you want to call it? Self-observed problem said by many former vegans that they were losing hair. And I'm not there with you. I'm not like hanging out and watching you eat while I'm no longer vegan or anything like that. I don't know what you're doing. But I've seen this seems to be the case for a lot of them, meaning a majority, more than 50% of these people who were formerly vegan and were losing their hair. What I've noticed for them is many of these people were not getting enough calories. And typically, as I was talking to Logan, that's a problem I had when I was eating a fully raw diet, as I tried in 2012. I lost a lot of weight, and that is a symptom of not getting enough food, not enough nutrition. Is not only losing weight, but losing hair as well. Your body just doesn't have all the nutrients and energy to do what it needs to do. So that could be a problem. A lot of people unintentionally, when they go vegan, don't know that they probably need to eat a little bit more plant foods, excluding like nuts, seeds, avocados, are generally less calorically dense than, say, eating meat and dairy. So they might not know they have to fill up a little bit more. But a lot of people go vegan, think it's a weight loss diet, particularly if you try like a raw fruitarian kind of diet. A lot of people are attracted to that because of the leanness associated with that. So yeah, if your hair is falling out, as Produce Not Pills says here, you're most likely were under eating. It's not an attribute of eating plants. I mean, look, I cut my hair off, I mean, it was like this long. If you look at my videos from November, it was like this long. It's already getting really long again. I mean, I'm 52. I should be losing hair at this age, probably. So, I don't think I'm special. Angie's hair, she hasn't cut it the whole time we started our channel. She started with a bob like this long, like in that painting back there. And now it's like, down to here. So it's not a normal feature of veganism for those who are eating enough food. So if that was why you left, why you're no longer vegan, I would say come back, eat more food and try it out again. Again, I'm saying this is a slam dunk solution. I'm just saying a pattern that I've noticed in many former vegans who claim they were losing hair. I noticed they just were not eating a lot of food. I'm the richest person in the world. What? Right. Okay. No, not me. Jeff Bezos. You're talking about the richest person in the world is bald. Yeah. I'm sure it had nothing to do with under eating. Baldness in males, it's really a genetic thing. You know, I hate it when I see people say, "Oh, you know, look at that vegan. He's losing his hair." It's like, no, that vegan is losing his hair probably because of his genetics and his age. Arvind, well, regarding the NBA season, it's not canceled per se. They really want to try to bring it back, and there is talk of the season coming back later on, maybe May or June. Maybe play a few games, like 5-10 regular season games, and then go straight to some kind of playoffs. And all these games will probably have no fans in attendance, just the teams, referees, and broadcasters. So, yeah, it would suck if they fully canceled the NBA season because the Lakers are primed to win a championship. I mean, the Clippers, and the Milwaukee Bucks are looking like one of those three teams will be, you know, robbed of a title if they don't continue this season. I think it's going to happen. I think they'll continue without fans later on. There's just too much at stake to cancel in a whole season. Cool, John Kukul from Slovenia. Cool. See, I'm glad I came on a little earlier for you Europeans who are usually asleep when I do these live streams. So cool. Thanks for letting me know that I was one of your inspirations for turning you vegan. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Let's see. Always see. Here's another story of vegan hair loss from running into myself. He lost his hair as a vegan, but shaved it. See. Yeah, LeBron said he plays for the fans and didn't want to play in empty arenas. And this was like during the early stages of COVID-19. The NBA was talking about possible actions that might have to do. But once the season got canceled, LeBron James backpedaled that statement. He'll play for fanless stadium games. He'll do it for sure. You know, it's just at first the idea seems so wrong, and it is. But I'm sure he sees, you know, the trade-off. Like he'd rather play for no fans, but fans could watch on TV and try to pursue winning another NBA championship. Arvind, yeah, I agree that we should eat both raw and cooked foods. Yeah, absolutely. I think if you eat only raw or only cooked, you're missing out on some good food. Yeah, I believe, I've said many times on this live stream, a vegan diet should not be restrictive. It shouldn't eliminate all these entire food groups needlessly, unless you have some kind of medical condition or intense allergy or something like that. I don't see any reason why a healthy person would intentionally restrict their vegan diet down and just eat like just a certain amount of foods and neglect like, you know, whole classes of healthy foods. It makes absolutely no sense. But if that's what you want to do, it's cool. It doesn't mean you have to be sensible, but that's, you know, my opinion. Let's see. LeBron James should be vegan. I remember made a video about him several years ago when he was doing keto, trying to lose weight. And things have changed. Like him and Dwayne Wade were doing keto back then, and since then, Dwayne Wade is eating more plant-based. LeBron is eating way more plants. I made a video showing how he eats pretty high carb, you know, even though he's not vegan. So things have changed. The knowledge is getting out there that athletes, if they want to extend their careers, they shouldn't be eating a pro-inflammatory diet. Instead, they should be eating a anti-inflammatory diet. That means eating way more plants. And yeah, you should go all the way and go vegan. Okay, your name is Jan. Okay, John. Yeah, like Jan, like Jan Hammer or something like that. You know, it's a different country. I agree with you, Beth. Yeah, sleep, water are also important. Not only just for being vegan, just for anyone. But yeah, I got my water, trying to get good sleep. It's good to be healthy. I believe Kyrie Irving is still vegan to the best of my knowledge. And that's one reason why I got some Kyrie shoes ways ago. Support the vegan. Hopefully he's still vegan. Anyway, Natalie, no, that's not my wheelhouse right there. So I'm not going to BS you on that. I know the answer. I know what FODMAP diets are, and it's does it help with IBS in general? I do avoid garlic and onions. I don't avoid gluten myself, but yeah, I would do some more Googling. I wish I could give you some firsthand experience on that, but I don't. So I don't have IBS or anything like that. Okay, should I order food during this time? Like from restaurants? Probably okay. I mean, I wouldn't trust like major like fast food chains that don't have any kind of like, paid sick leave, because then they're just encouraging sick people to come in. I would trust smaller restaurants, like family-owned ones. Hopefully they're operating better, or ones that have known, made a statement about how they are. Like I saw how Chipotle has procedures in place right now to make sure employees are healthy when they get there. I don't know if it's true or not, but at least they have some policy. But I haven't ordered anything from a restaurant this whole time. I've just been eating great food that Angie's been making. Why I'm no longer vegan? I'm not sure. Are you angering everyone here? I'm not sure, but I don't know. I can say is try going vegan again, and eating more food. Seriously, losing hair is not a normal feature of eating plants. It really isn't. Let's see. Yep. Plant-based diet and fitness, hair loss, yeah, it can come from, the stuff you're talking about, steroids, testosterone, stuff like that, for sure. But yeah, I mean, don't blame it on veganism. There's so many reasons why a person's hair can fall out. But yeah, come back, eat more calories, more food. All right, let's all calm down here. I know why I'm no longer vegan is trying to like get a rouse out of people and stuff like that. But let's all be chill. Cool. Let's all be cool. Why I'm no longer vegan. That's cool. You said what you needed to say, and people leave why I'm no longer vegan alone. Let's not talk about why I'm no longer vegan or why something failed. I've given enough airtime to that in this live stream. So let's kind of move on and get the good vibes back again. But that's a good point, the Matrons Militia. Yeah, Mike the Vegan. I made videos, but Mike's is probably better. Watch his video on avoiding deficiencies on a vegan diet. It's really not that hard. I don't do anything special as far as like, trying to avoid deficiencies, and I'm doing fine. My blood tests I do every year since 2012, reveal that. I'm not... it's again, deficiency is not a normal feature of a vegan diet. It's often a sign of if they're speaking truth here, it's a more common feature of those who are not getting enough food on a vegan or any diet for that matter. Yeah. Let's see. So I should probably get going pretty soon. Angie and I have our concert date that we're going to watch online in about 45 minutes. So I better join forces with her so we can get a nice meal ready for that. Don't want to miss that. That's one thing we've been looking forward to all week is to watch some good music tonight for free. So anything else you want to guys throw at me here before I go? No, I don't take an iodine supplement, Becca. No, I don't really take any supplements. I mean, occasionally I'll have like something like, but yeah, not iodine. Let's see. Cool, RBG Finn. Cool, thanks. And if anyone's joining late right now, I'm going to leave this live stream up so you guys can watch it. I won't take this one down like I do with many of my live streams. So, if you came in late, just wait a second, refresh your browser, and you should be able to watch from the beginning. I think there's a little pause. I think YouTube processes it, creates different versions, different formats. But yeah, watch the whole thing from the beginning. If you missed my debate with Logan about raw fruitarianism and all that stuff. So it's thanks for joining, guys. New Love Spiral song. We have two. We have one we finished a few months ago, and one that we're working on right now. So there's two new Love Spiral songs that you guys will hear this year in 2020. Maybe will be some more because I'm getting more music done now during this whole lockdown than I have in a long time. It's actually beneficial for some of us creators who've kind of overwhelmed to get a little bit more time just thrown at us. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Wait, Ryan, do a review of my diet when I finish it? Okay, let me know. I'll check it out. I'll see if I review it or not, but I'll check it out. Let me know when you do your diet thing there. So anyway, guys, I'm not sure when my next live stream will be, but as I've said on the past few live streams, I'm going to do more now that we're on this lockdown, this global lockdown. I used to do live streams about once a week, and now I'm looking at doing them like almost every other day. So that's like 3 or 4 times a week, and I'm going to try to stagger the times between my normal kind of late West Coast time, which is in about 3 hours from now, and try to do some more nowish, this one's been going on for an hour, 2 hours now. So I'm gonna try to stagger them so I can get people from all over the world. I know, like I said, a lot of Europeans aren't awake when I do my West Coast evening one. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. I appreciate everyone, and you guys have been a great crowd. Everyone's been cool. Thanks for our moderators, and thanks for Logan for having a debate with me, a friendly debate on raw diets. And hopefully I cleared up some of the misconceptions that some people have about me, about my position on raw diets. And yeah, if you haven't seen it, I won't repeat it again. Just watch, refresh the browser, watch from the beginning, guys. So thanks so much, and I will see y'all soon. All right, take care. Much love.